Hello, welcome to SBL Mixing. Today what we're going to do is we're going to actually create our own impulse response for a reverb from scratch. There is no requirement for a microphone or a speaker or a room, and I'll show you how that's done, and you can get some really great results using this technique. Let's dive in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a bar selected here on an audio track that has nothing on it. What I'm going to do is I've got the signal generator from the audio suite, and I'm going to print the pink noise onto that. Okay, I'm also going to do another one here, which is white noise for comparison. And it's as simple as that. And we're going to put in a fade out on both of those, and I'll adjust the shape of that to taste. Yeah, we'll go with that shape there. I'm going to print that shape into the audio file using Alt, Shift, and 3 to consolidate the file. And then what I'll do is I'll split it out to mono. We can get rid of that one now. And what we're going to do is we'll just work on the left side. Okay, it doesn't sound much like a reverb as such. Let's print it to a WAV file. I've already made these before, but I'm actually overriding what I did. Okay, I'm doing the same for the right side, so it's a right and a left side. And then what we need is an IR plugin. So what I'll do is I'll load in the impulse response that we just made. So this is the left side, that's the right side. I'm not entirely happy with the length of that. So what I'll do is I'll put another fade out on that, another fade out on that, and we'll consolidate those. Do the same with these. Okay, and then, all right, so just go through the same process, override it. And what we're doing is we're creating something that sounds like an impulse response that has all of the frequencies that we want in it, so that we can then take stuff out, modify it, and turn it into something that sounds like a room. First thing I probably want to do is get some EQ on there, filter out some of the low end, and then maybe put a boost in or something like that. Okay, that's getting there. Maybe pull out some of these lower mids, take a bit more off. We're filtering that out, and then what I'll do is I'll take this across to the right side and I'll modify it just a little bit, okay, so that we've got something a little bit different on the left and the right sides. So that's starting to sound a bit more like a room. What else can we do? We can probably get some, what about some tremolator? Okay, let's get, say, something like that. Okay, and we'll just mess up these settings so that they're both different and see how far that gets us. Did I do the same thing? I did, damn it. So we'll go the other way. And now we'll put in a delay or something just to create some early reflections. Probably something really short. Okay, something under 38 milliseconds would be good, with some feedback and blending in 30%. I'll just leave it on one side just so you can hear how that sounds. I'm going to modify the other side. Okay, that's starting to get there. And then maybe some saturation, so some subtle tape. And what I'll do is I'll have something like that, and then I'll put something like this. Right, let's see how this sounds. Before I do that, actually, what I'll do, we've got our impulse response. It's loaded into here. Let's have a listen to this song and see what it sounds like in context. So I haven't got any other effects. Let's have a listen.
Walls are caving in.
sounds pretty good on its own, but let's have a go at modifying that. So everything that we just did with the EQ, selecting, left side 2, and just the region that we want. And we'll do the same here, but with the right side. So we've got a second version of that. We'll now load that in just to here, and we'll grab that one, and it's asking for the right side, and that's the right side. So it's got a bit of a shape to it now, which is probably from that tremolator. We could even probably play with that a bit more, but let's listen to how that sounds. Just make sure these are muted. Quite long, but I don't mind it. Like, I feel like it suits this song. So maybe we can throw something a little bit faster on this. So if we went maybe quarter note, so let's go half note on this side, and then we'll go maybe a quarter note or a quarter note dot on that side. Let's go crazy. Like, let's feed more of the depth into that. So what it's doing is it's modulating the volume of the tail of that reverb. Make sure I've got my region selected. I'm just going to overwrite what we just made. Okay, as you can see, it's a really simple process. Okay, now let's load that in. Look at that. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Curious to see how that sounds. Beautiful. Love it. Just as a way of comparison, what I'd like to do is do the exact same thing, except I'm using white noise. What I might do is just put in some more fade there and consolidate those regions. And yeah, just basically I'm printing white noise with that same processing on it. So we'll make it white noise, impulse response, call it left side. And we'll do the same with this. So we'll call this right. You'll hear that there's a difference in frequency content. Let's have a listen. A little bit like a bright plate, like a vocal plate or something. Just by way of comparison, let's go back to what we had, which was this one and that one. I don't know, I really like aspects of both of those. Okay, so that's a really quick way of getting a beautiful sounding reverb. I'm going to just put some ridiculous stuff on and see what happens. Big fan of the tremolator for modulating this stuff. And what else could we do? Let's put a bit of saturation in it. Let's do that. Maybe we'll put, a bit of this delay in it as well. There are no rules here. It's about creating differences on both sides and, just seeing what you can create with this. Let's just have a quick listen to the left side. Wow. Okay. What's that going to sound like? I'm curious now to know. So obviously gone pretty hard there on the tremolator. What I'll do is I'll keep what I've got. We'll make a third version. So left side, third version, and right side. Mute these guys. We'll load them into our deconvolver. And what was it? That one and that one. I love that. I love that. For those who are going to ask, what do you do if you don't have this plugin? There is a free one called Pulse. I haven't had a lot of luck with it. I've had a few issues with loading impulse responses. We could try again now. So I want the stereo version. I want to select an external IR. Let's just select what we had and we'll turn that on. Do we need to turn that on? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll leave it off. We'll see if it works. Maybe I just don't know how to use the plugin yet. Let's have a listen. We'll turn that off. Bit of a head scratcher. I'm not sure why that's not working because I had it working at one point. It would have been a good one for you guys. That was the only free option I could find that was cross-compatible with Pro Tools and other DAWs that use VST plugins. So see how you go. Be interested to see, what sort of interesting reverbs you guys come up with. You can get some beautiful results just using pink and white noise. So have fun with that. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Please hit the like button and I'll see you in another video. Happy mixing.